What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome to Fresh Comic Stories. Guys, this is the channel that we basically sit down and cover different kinds of comic book stories. Now, guys, today we are going to jump back over to Marvel Comics and continue our coverage over the Ultimate Marvel Universe. But this time, we're going to pick up with Ultimate X-Men and cover a one-shot called Cliffhangers. So guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories like this in the near future. But guys, I do hope you enjoy this video. This one shot is more of laying the groundwork of future stories to come in the near future. For example, we get a small glimpse of Ultimate Mr. Sinister, and we have not seen him in a good while. But we pick up with him still locked up in the Triskelion, which again is the home base of S.H.I.E.L.D. And this is the place where they lock up powerful super beings. But we come to find out that Mr. Sinister killed himself, and that's all we see of him for now until another video down the road. And this leads us over to Magneto's cell room. Now remember that this is not Magneto in this cell. The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, the group that is led by Magneto, broke him out back in one of our earlier videos. But after breaking him out, they replace him with Mystique. Of course, she has the ability to change her appearances, as a way to keep S.H.I.E.L.D. believing that Magneto is still in his cell, so Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants can continue their mission to get rid of the human race on the outside. Now at this moment right here, you have Mastermind walking in to replace her, and he has the power to control people's senses, and so he is going to have people believe that he is Magneto so that Mystique can go on to her next mission. This leads us over to the Xavier Institute. In our last Ultimate X-Men video, after the death of Charles Xavier, Cyclops disbanded the X-Men and turned the home of Charles Xavier into a full-on school. There's no missions or anything at all, just young mutants coming to the school to learn how to control their powers. Now only a few X-Men stayed behind, but most of the X-Men had left. And so the school is being run by Cyclops, Jean Grey, and a little bit of Storm as well. They also have help from Gerald. Now Gerald is a character I want to make sure you guys remember. He was first introduced as someone who worked for the Church of the Shire and the assistant to Liliandra. When Charles Xavier died, the church agreed to continue funding the school to help Cyclops out. The church placed Gerald to watch over the school, and after they did that, we came to find out that he was secretly working for the Hellfire Club. That was huge because the Hellfire Club, like its main Marvel Universe counterpart, wanted to capture Jean Grey. Except in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, they wanted to use her to destroy the world. Now, they were all killed back in the early days of Ultimate X-Men, except when we met Gerald, we found out he was a member of the club and they are back. Plus, we see him make a phone call in this book. That phone call goes over to Shinobi Shaw, the son of Sebastian Shaw, who was the leader of the Hellfire Club but was killed by Jean Grey when she was the Phoenix. And so it seems that Shinobi Shaw took over the Hellfire Club. Also, we come to find out that he is now dating Emma Frost, and this is the only page we will see him in this video. Now we pick up with Nightcrawler, and remember that he left the X-Men right after Xavier died. But before that, his mind had snapped, and he felt like the X-Men were a bunch of evil people. Xavier had him in a coma, hoping to help get his mind back to normal. But with Xavier now being dead, Nightcrawler was able to escape the Xavier Institute. This is where we pick up with him underground and meet with the mutant named Leech. This mutant shows him where to find out where the Morlocks are hiding in this universe. And this is something we're going to touch on in our next video. All you need to know is that the Morlocks hide underground because their mutations make it hard for them to walk alongside humans because they look so deformed. This leads us back over to the Triskelion and leads us to the biggest moment of this book, where we pick up with Nick Fury, who again should not be around since he is right now trapped in another dimension in other books. But we see him meeting up with someone in this room, where we come to find out that it is Hank McCoy, aka the Beast, who is still alive. And this is huge because Beast died back in the New Mutant storyline, and we were left to believe that. Well, we come to find out that after he was supposedly killed, he was taken to the hospital and his life was saved by the doctors. Instead, coming back to the Xavier Institute, S.H.I.E.L.D. took him and had him working on finding a cure for the legacy virus. Now, Charles Xavier was in on this plan, and Charles Xavier used his powers to make the Beast believe that he had been communicating with his family and friends, but in reality, it was a lie, because the X-Men still believe that Beast is still dead, but here he is working for S.H.I.E.L.D. The reason why, again, to find a cure for the legacy virus that can kill mutants. This was the backup plan for Stryker after he tried to kill the president back in the New Mutant storyline. We also see the Beast no longer has his blue fur anymore as well. We then jump over to a random mutant named Ugly John. And really, he is not important for us to learn about his character, because on the first page we see him, he is running away from something. In the next page, we see he is killed by a new model of the Sentinels, letting us know that they are going to be making a comeback in a later story. But we also saw that Ugly John believes that Charles Xavier was killed by humans, which we know he was killed by Cable, and this is telling us that other mutants outside the X-Men believe the same thing as well, that Charles Xavier was killed by humans and not by a mutant. And the story closes on two big things happening, and the first thing is that we pick up with Storm, who is right now dreaming. And we see that she is actually having a nightmare, and we find out that she is trying to block something out. Well, block someone out. And that person is the Shadow King. And this is going to be a huge thing in a later story. Now, after she woke up from her nightmare and decided to write down what she just experienced, that is when she gets a knock on her bedroom door. And we come to find out that it is Bishop. Remember, Bishop is trapped here in the past after trying to chase Cable down before he killed Charles Xavier. And we come to find out that he has a new mission, which is to make his own X-Men team since Cyclops ended the X-Men. And this is where we are going to end today's video. So guys, please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories like this in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read? Well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, I'm out of here and I will see you on the next comic book video. Later, guys.